right, once again, welcome to Panzer Unleashed, where the truth isn't whispered, it's shouted through a fucking bullhorn loud enough to shatter the glass towers of this corrupt empire. I'm Scott Panzer Paulson, father, police corruption survivor, and proud member of the Iron Voice Society. And as I always say, people, this is not a fucking podcast. This ain't no chat show. This is a fucking war cry. A Molotov cocktail hurled at the heart of a system that's been fleecing us, lying to us, and spitting on us for far too fucking long. And tonight we're fucking going deep, kids. Real fucking deep. All the way into the darkness. And most people don't even want to look down there. We're talking about the ghost killers, people. You're like, Panzer, what the fuck is a ghost killer? These, my friends, cartels are turning the forgotten, homeless folks and retired veterans, people with no paper trail, into untraceable assassins right now. And these aren't drifters moving on to some poetic next stage in their journey. These are broken souls, used up, discarded, and left to bleed out in the shadows. And like I said, people, I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for fucking likes and follows. I'm here because I have no fucking choice. This system, this festering, rotted machine, has already taken too fucking much from me. My kids, my safety, my peace, my ability to walk down the fucking street without checking my 6 every fucking 6 seconds. And I know I'm not alone out there. You're out there, like fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, feeling that same boot on your neck. That same fucking dread. Like, you know, and you're not crazy. You know, you're not paranoid. You're awake, my friend. And tonight, we're going to wake up the rest of the world, because this episode's going to burn for a little while, folks. We're going to stretch it out and let every word sink in there. And I'm not rushing this, people. I'm not holding back, because we're diving into 4 different segments. So, locked and loaded. You know, first, how cartels build their ghost killer pipeline. Second, I've already seen on the streets, my friends, my own run-ins with this nightmare. And third, how the system lets this happen, turning a blind eye for cash and power. And fourth is how we fight back, right here and right now. And if you're driving, you might as well just pull the fuck over. And if you're working, drop your tools, because this isn't background noise, people. This is Panzer Unleashed. And the ghost killer pipeline, my friends, let's go ahead and cut through all this bullshit right fucking now. You think cartels are some just south of the border problem? Some fucking Scarface fantasy for TV? Wake the fuck up, people. They're here in your cities, in your fucking streets, and they're playing a game so fucking dirty it makes your skin crawl. And they're not just moving drugs or guns anymore, people. They're weaponizing the people we've all been trained to ignore. And that's the homeless, the vets, the ones with no addresses, the ones with no IDs, no digital footprints. And the cartel, they breed these people. They call them their ghost killers. For a reason, too. These are people who don't exist on paper, my friends. So when they pull a trigger or stick a knife, there's no trace, there's no record, just a body and a fucking shadow slipping back into the streets. And how does this work, people? Picture this. A vet, maybe someone who served a couple fucking tours in Iraq, comes home broken as fuck, no job, no family. The VA tells him to wait 6 months for a checkup. So he's out on the fucking corner, sleeping under a bridge. And this motherfucker's got skills, combat skills, survival skills, but no one gives a fuck. Enter the cartel. They don't see a human. They see a fucking tool. They slide up with a bag of cash, a hit of fentanyl, or a threat. do this job, or we'll find your sister. And next thing you know, that vet got a burner phone and a target. And he does the hit. He gets his cut and he vanishes back into the fucking streets. No fingerprints in the system, no driver's license, nothing. He's a fucking ghost, people. And it's not just one guy. This is a pipeline, people. Cartels have been doing this for years. I've noticed this back in 2013, but it's gotten worse, people. I'm talking Phoenix, Tucson, El Paso, San Diego, anywhere with a fucking border close enough to smell the corruption. Trust me, back in 2020, reports from fucking Tijuana showed that the cartels were using homeless folks as test dummies for fucking fentanyl batches. And you think they stopped there? Fuck no. They saw opportunity. You know, a homeless vet with no records is cheaper than a Sicario and twice as invisible. And you don't need to smuggle them across the fucking border. They're already here, sleeping in the alleys, pretending to walk to your yards in the morning and scouting everything. You know, they're ignored by the same cops who are supposed to protect us. But let's talk numbers, because I know some of you are thinking, oh, Panzer, you're fucking exaggerating. Oh, am I? Well, back in 2025, this year, Arizona alone saw a 13% spike in veteran homelessness. That's thousands, fucking thousands of our men and women trained, capable, fucking discarded, living off the fucking grid. And in 300% jump in fentanyl deaths nationwide, and you don't need a fucking PhD to connect the dots, people. Cartels are flooding our streets with drugs and turning the desperates into killers. And the kicker? The police know. They've known about this shit for years. And like I said, the reports are there. They're fucking buried. And about the cartel recruiters working fucking Skid Row like it's a job fair, the Phoenix PD, Tucson PD, you name it. They'll bust a low-level dealer for the cameras. But the real players, the ones turning vets into hitmen, untouched. And why, you ask? Because too many badges are on the fucking take, people. You want to know how I know this isn't just fucking talk? I've been out there. I've talked to these motherfuckers. These vets with dead eyes muttering about jobs they can't even talk about. You know, I've seen these cartel runners cruising those homeless camps. They fucking flood these camps out here with fentanyl here in Tucson. And the cops pretend like it doesn't even happen. If they did their fucking jobs and set up their perimeters around these washes where all these homeless people come, they will catch the motherfucker bringing in the fentanyl and distributing it. But, yeah, like I said, people, this isn't a fucking theory. This is real. And it's happening right now, right where you fucking live. And the system wants you to think it's just fucking crime, just urban decay. But that's motherfucking bullshit. This is calculated operation. Cartels just don't stumble into this shit. They thrive because the system lets them. These fucking cops, they look the other way for a cut. And these politicians get that campaign cash to fucking stay quiet. And the rest of us, yeah, we're told to keep walking. Keep on fucking scrolling on our phones. Don't look at the guy on the corner who might be fucking carrying a blade for the fucking Sinaloa cartel. You know, but I'm done ignoring it. I've spent 14 years literally digging into the underworld to try to fix this shit, but you know what? This is the only way. My eyes are on the fucking streets. And this one hits home, people, real fucking close. You want to know what keeps me up at night? It's not just death threats or the fucking cartels walking by, scratching their noses and fucking trying to intimidate me with their fucking bullshit tactics. It's the faces I've seen. People I've met who are caught in this fucking ghost killer nightmare. And I'm not just talking about stats or fucking news clips. I'm talking about real people, real fucking pain, right here in Arizona. And let me paint this picture for you. A couple months back, here in Tucson, near the old rail yard, it was about 10 p.m., I heard. And this guy, they called him Mike. It's not really his real name, but he was an older guy, maybe 50, buzz cut, scars on his knuckles. And he was a Marine, said he did time in Afghanistan. Reports say he was shaking. Not from the cold, but from something else. And when he was asked what's wrong with him, he said that he looked at the guy and he said he was the first person to give him a job in years. And he started talking, low and fast about jobs. He doesn't give any details, but they said they seen it in his eyes with the guilt, the fear, and the kind of look you get when you've crossed a line you can't come back from. And, they pressed him for information, gentle but firm. And when they asked, who's they, Mike? Who's been giving you these jobs? He just clams up, looks over his shoulder like he's looking for someone. But before he walked off, he slipped a name, a street dealer tied to a local fucking cartel crew. And we've heard the name before from another guy up in Phoenix. Like I said, we've been tracking these pieces of shit. Same story, and these aren't fucking coincidences. They fucking scare these people into doing these things. And these aren't patterns, people. These cartels are scoping out these camps and picking up guys just like Mike, trained, desperate, and invisible, and turning them into tools for murder. And it's not just Mike, my friends. I've seen it in Phoenix. A vet I met near, Roosevelt? What's his name? Fucking, I don't know. He had an army jacket on. He's about 30 years old. Ranting about fucking jobs, looking for jobs. He didn't have any IDs, nothing. Came back from the military, fucking strung out on fucking fentanyl. And he was clinging to the cartel. And last time I seen him, he was just, he was doing better, but obviously not mentally better. And it's sad to see our vets manipulated into becoming a weapon for these pieces of shit. And it hurts. They do the hit, they get their fucking hit of dope or cash, and then they're either back on the streets or they're dead. No drifters list, no next stage, just a fucking void, man. And that tears me up because I'm a father. I look at these guys and think about my kids, my son, my daughter, and they don't get to have a normal life because of this same cartel fucking filth. I can't take them to a park without fucking scanning for threats and having to fucking, bring an arsenal. And I can't sleep without even checking the locks twice and just double checking. And I know what it's like to be targeted. To have the green light on your fucking back because you spoke the truth. And I've had fucking these cartel goons tail me for years. Straight the fuck up. Subliminal message. They try to do every fucking tactic in the book to fucking initiate a response from you. And then they can pull you into the narrative that they already have molded. But make it clear that, they make it clear. They know exactly where I'm at, what I'm doing, and like I said, they fucking call my number, send stupid shit to my phone. It's just like all subliminal dumb shit. I pay for the calling out of their game, and I pay for that every day. And the guys like Mike, they don't just have a podcast. They don't have nothing. They don't even have a voice because they're just a ghost. And they're used up and thrown away. And it's not just the cartels. It's the fucking system that lets this happen. The same system that leaves vets on the streets, that cuts VA funding while funneling billions to foreign wars. That let these dirty cops pocket cartel cash while guys like Mike are turned into killers. I've seen it in my own life, people. Cops who look the other way when I report threats. These fucking judges who dismiss cases with a smirk. This isn't just about cartels. It's about a machine that fucking chews up the weak and spits them out as a weapon. And you listening right now, you know what I'm fucking talking about. You've probably seen those homeless camps in your town. You've seen the fucking vets, the broken guys on the corner with the signs, the forgotten ones. And you've seen those dealers, the slick fucking expensive cars rolling through your house, neighborhoods at night. You know, you're not imagining it, people. You're not crazy. You're seeing the fucking truth. And I'm here to tell you, we can't let these ghosts stay invisible anymore, people. And we have to talk about the real criminals here. Not just the cartel bosses, not just the fucking street dealers, but the suits and badges who let this fucking shit go on. And you think the cartels could pull this off without help? Without someone looking the other way? Fuck no. Come on now. This is a fucking team effort, people. And the system, they're playing goalie right now. So start with the VA, man, the Veterans Affairs. It's supposed to take care of our soldiers, right? Bull fucking shit. Back in this year, actually, the VA's budget got slashed again. $20 billion redirected to emergency relief that somehow never reaches the streets. Meanwhile, the veteran homelessness is up 13% here in Arizona. A lot of ghost killers around here, people. And these guys who fought for this country, who know how to handle a rifle and who can survive in hell and know what to do, you know, we leave them on the fucking curb, man, with no fucking healthcare, no housing, no hope. Perfect fucking prey for cartel recruitment. And you think that's an accident? I don't. That's too fucking convenient. You know, we need to appreciate our vets. They sacrifice everything for our freedom. You know, you have to, like I said, they keep the vets desperate, man. They keep them off the grid, and you've got a ready-made army of ghosts, you know? And like I said, man, then there's the cops that don't give me that no all cops line bullshit. I'm not here for it. I'm talking about the ones who know exactly what the fuck is going on. The Phoenix Police Department, the Tucson Police Department, you fucking name it. I've seen it buried, people. Like I said, go look at the fucking website right now. Phoenix Police Department, Tucson Police Department, new recruits graduations. Go look at it. All the next batch of cartel kids running this fucking city. And about the cartel recruiters, man, working those homeless camps right under our fucking noses, you think they don't notice? You think they don't see the same black SUVs rolling through, the same fucking trucks at 2 a.m.? They fucking see it. They just don't give a fuck. Why, you might ask? Because too many of them are getting paid. And like I said, back in 2023, people, a Phoenix cop got busted running drugs for a cartel and got a slap on the wrist and went right back to work. That's not one bad apple, people. That's a fucking rotten orchard. And don't get me started on the feds, man. The DEA, FBI, they'll put on a big ass show, bust a warehouse, you know, wear some, you know, wave around some kilos for the camera. But the real work, the recruiters turning vets into killers, crickets. Why? Because the feds are too busy playing politics, chasing headlines, or worse, you know, taking their own cut. And, you know, look at the Menendez case. You know, senator caught with fucking cartel ties. And what happens? A quiet little plea deal. No fucking consequences, no nothing. And that's the game, people. The higher up you go, the dirtier it fucking gets. Then you've got these politicians, you know, the ones who cry about veteran support on Veterans Day, then vote to gut the fucking VA, you know what I'm saying? Like, the ones who talk tough on crime while their campaign accounts basically swell with dirty money. Especially in Arizona, you know, we've got mayors and council members here who've been linked to cartel cash through shell companies. You don't believe me? Dig into 2025 public records, people. It's there if you look hard enough. But you won't see it on the news. Why that is? Because the media is in on it too, people. all the fucking local stations, national networks, they all run a fucking sob story about homelessness, but never touch the cartel angle because it's too risky. Too many advertisers to piss off. You know, this is what burns me up, people. These ghost killers aren't just victims of cartels. They're fucking victims of a system that decided they're disposable. The vets, the homeless folks, and anyone who falls through the cracks, they're not people to this machine. They're tools. And when they're used up, when they're done with their hit or miss their fucking mark, they don't get to move on like some drifter with a list. They're either left to fucking die, overdose, or suicide, or a bullet from the same cartel that hired them. And the system, it just shrugs and moves on. You know, I've felt this betrayal myself, people, and I've been to these city meetings and begging for someone to look into cartel threats. And I filed reports with cops who just laughed in my fucking face, man. And it's like I said, I've had these people just toss my information around like a juggling act and just laugh. And this, like I said, this isn't just about the homeless vets, people. It's about all of us who dare to stand up, who dare to say, this ain't fucking right. You know, this system doesn't just ignore us, people. It targets us. It wants us silent, scared, or fucking dead. And I'll never shut the fuck up. And neither should you, people. You should expose and fight these pieces of shit. If you want a future for your children, you have to cut the fucking head off the snake. You know, and here's where the rubber hits the road, people. You've heard the truth. You've heard how the cartels are turning our vets and our homeless and our forgotten into ghost killers. You've heard how the system, the cops, the feds, the politicians, they let it happen, even profit from it. Now what? You're gonna fucking sit and shake your head and just go back to scrolling on your fucking phone? Or are you gonna fucking stand up and fight, people? Because this right here, this isn't just my war. It's yours. It's fucking ours. And it starts right now. And the first step, people, is open up your motherfucking eyeballs. You see a homeless camp in your town, don't just walk by it. Look and listen. Set up fucking shop, record, document. That's where the drugs are coming in to be flooded, are these homeless camps. And the Tucson Police Department, Phoenix PD, they're benefiting from this. That's the reason why it never gets taken care of. Because anybody with common sense could fucking handle this problem. I guarantee this. You give me fucking control for one day, and I'll have these streets cleaned the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And like I said, get those names, people. Listen for names, get the faces, the times, gets their fucking license plates, everything. Those black SUVs rolling through at midnight. Get those plate numbers, people. Those dealers handing out fucking cash or baggies. Get those fucking photos. You know, don't be reckless. Don't be fucking blind. You know, every piece of evidence that you collect is a bullet in our fucking arsenal. So, second, people, you have to share the shit. Blast this fucking episode everywhere. You know, all the Telegram chats, all the gabbers out there on X. You know, you are what make this go round. You know, tag me, tag the Iron Voice Society, and flood the fucking internet with the truth, people. You know, cartels and their enablers thrive in the fucking dark. And we are shining that spotlight so fucking bright, they're not gonna be able to hide anywhere, people. Like I said, if you got a story about a vet or a homeless guy caught in this shit, post it. Send it to me. Let's make these ghosts visible. And you have to demand accountability, people. Show up at those fucking city council meetings. Call your reps. Flood their voicemails, their emails, their X accounts. Ask why veteran homelessness is spiking while VA funds get fucking funneled to God knows where. And ask why cops aren't raiding cartel recruiters in these homeless camps. You know, make them squirm. You know, they work for us. You know that, right? Not the other way around. And that's where people don't get. And if they won't fucking listen, vote them the fuck out. Support candidates who actually fight this fucking filth. And we have to protect our own people. There are groups out there, veteran aid organizations, community watch programs, that are actually trying to help. Find them, volunteer, donate, or start your own. You know, sometimes you have to grab the fucking ship and steer it back on course. And if you're a vet or a cop or a lawyer or a journalist, step up, my friend. Use your skills. We need investigators, those whistleblowers, to get rid of this corruption. The people with the guts to dig into this. And if you're just a regular person, you're not just anything. You're a fucking citizen soldier in this fight, my friend. So train with the Iron Voice Society. Tune in. Like I said, man, we try to fucking educate our people. And, you know, it just pisses us off so much that corruption is just so open. You know, we are building that network of people who won't fold. Who speak the truth no matter what the fucking cost. And most important, don't let fear win, people. Because I get it. Yeah, it might be scary. I know the cartels don't play nice. Neither do those dirty cops or their little Fed buddies. But just know I'm your worst fucking nightmare, motherfucker. And I'm not going anywhere. I don't give a fuck what your skill set is, who you are, what your title is. You come around me and threaten my family again, trust me. Anyways, let's get back on this. Getting that fire burning. Like I said, the Iron Voice Society isn't just a name, people. It's a fucking promise. We've got your back in this fight. Bigger than me, bigger than you. You know, it's about saving the souls of this country. It's about making sure our kids grow up in a world without this drugs and this narco influence. Because these vets, people, they don't need to become a ghost. No more. You know, these kids grow up like mine, you know, learning escape plans instead of playing tag. You know, it's about taking back what's ours, our streets, our communities, our fucking future. And these cartels don't get to run this show, people. The cops don't get to sell us out. And the system doesn't get to fucking decide who lives or dies. And that starts now. So grab your phone, grab your fucking cameras, your voice, and hit back. Post it, protest it, protect it. We're not waiting for permission, people. We're not waiting for justice. We're fucking taking it. And this is for this edition, people. And I do have to remind you all out there that I'm still burning every day. And to every single one of my listeners out there, you're not just an audience. You are a fucking army. Keep pushing, keep fucking raging, and keep rising, my friends. Make sure to drop your stories in the comment. Flood the fuck out of my inbox. And like I said, join the Iron Voice Society. Link up with people who've got the fucking spine to stand tall, speak the truth, and fear no one. Because we're not victims. We're not ghosts. We are a fucking reckoning. Stay fierce, stay based, and I'll see you on the front lines. Panzer out.